classic problem with door jambs. They get measured wrong and they will close and stay locked.
So if you're having problems with this kind of situation, you're gonna want to stick around.
In this case, this guy literally needs to be about here. So I'm gonna show you how to do that.
All right, so first things first, we're going to mark with a magic marker the space that we need to cut out. And then we'll go ahead and grab a utility knife since we don't have chisels today. And we'll just start carving out on the black line. The trick with this is just to go a couple millimeters deep across the sides and the top. And then once you've gone just kind of through just a little bit, you just want to score it first so you don't slip off your mark. And then you can go a little deeper and a little deeper, a little deeper and a little deeper. And then what you'll do is you'll come behind and you'll start cutting off that 1 or 2 millimeters at a time. And the reason you want to do it like this is if you try to go too deep, you could break your blade. When you're going too deep, you're actually putting more friction on the blade. It has to go down through all of the wood. And then you have a harder time actually moving the knife and making the cut. So just go a little bit at a time, just like you would if you did have a chisel. That is common practice. Go a little deep and then take that piece out. I'm just gonna work on it a little bit until it's all the way to the depth of the original. Very important. You might be actually able to get away with it not being quite so deep, just because the part in the door may not have to go all the way that far, but best is to get it as deep as the original. And then I'm taking a flathead screwdriver in lieu of said chisel, and again I'm just taking off the millimeters that I was able to cut with the utility knife. Back at it for just a hair bit more, and then we will be ready to go. Just cleaning this up a little bit more. It's looking so good. Coming along nicely. And this is not something that takes a long time. This took me probably 15 minutes total to do. I mean, I've done this before. I have some experience. So if you are someone that does not do this kind of thing, you might just set 30 minutes aside just to say, I'm going to get it done. I'm not going to, as long as you have all the tools, of course, 30 minutes. If not, you could be here for a good hour if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. But there we go. It's all nice and clean. And just the door test proves that it does stop. Alright, so now we're going to put the faceplate back on. And the problem with this one is obviously it needs to be raised to meet up with the other hole we just cut. So I'm going to take the black X-Acto marker and give ourselves a reference line. Don't forget to include the curve of the plate as well. And again, we're going up probably 3 millimeters. Not very much. This door was just slightly off. Alright, here we go. Let's get her done. Same thing, very light scoring on the black line with the utility knife. Watch your hands, watch your fingers. If you notice, I allow it to swipe off, but I kind of pull up and I don't swipe towards myself. X-Acto knife, rule number 1. Always cut away from you. And that's really a good rule for any knife utilization. If you cut towards yourself, you have to have a lot of just control. And even people that have control, they end up cutting themselves. I get kind of, I'm not going to say scared, but I'm just very cautious as I use it. I don't want to cut myself. Alright, that looks great. Now we're going to test fit this plate. Looks like it's perfect. And now on to drill some holes to seat the screws. When you only measure a couple of millimeters away from the original hole, sometimes your drill bit wants to sink into the old hole. On the bottom one it kind of did, and you'll notice what happens here soon and how I fix it. So the first one went perfectly fine. The second one, not perfect. So we'll go ahead and put the first one in. Alright, sunk that baby. Let's go down to the second. Watch how easily this goes in. Yep. So, took it out. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking just some shards of the wood that I cut and I'm just jamming them in the hole. And this is going to work perfectly fine. If you had a little glued, you could stuff them in there. Or another thing that works perfectly well are toothpicks. They were perfect. Just throw 4 or 5 of them in there and then break off the ends with the X-Acto knife. And then you've literally got a brand new wooden, a hole is filled with wood. Let's just say it like that. Try to get more in than I could, but that's probably enough. Let's go ahead and throw the screw in and be done with this project today. Alright, dunsies. Let us do the door check. Yup. Tight as a glove, as they say. Thanks for watching, y'all. Please subscribe for more.